Hey, welcome to my channel. Well, today we have the Mavic 2 Pro versus over here the AUTEL EVO. Well, it's not really a versus, it's going to be a camera comparison more or less. What I'm going to do is right now it's cold for some freaking reason and it's overcast, as you can see behind me. Nice overcast cloudy day. The sun should break through at some point, but I'm going to take advantage of this overcast and use both drones, fly them, look at me and maybe fly them away and see how they handle this type of lighting. Because if you use any camera on the market, doesn't matter if it's a drone camera, whenever there's this type of lighting, you have issues with detail because trees all of a sudden just clump together and look like a big block of trees. There's no more details in the leaves or anything. And the sky is the only bright thing here. If I look around, look behind me, see? The sky's bright, the ground is all dark. So all of a sudden the drone sets the exposure for the sky and the ground just gets, well, darker and less detail. So in this video, I'm going to fly both drones on auto settings, see how good they are. So here we go. There's the Mavic 2 Pro in the air, and we walk over here and we have the EVO is up in the air. And I should be able to get both of them. You can see a little bit of blue skies coming through, but it's still rather dull for the most part back there. All right, so this is me in the picture. I think I'm looking down here. Yeah, so I'm in the center of both of the drones. They're both looking at me. The cameras, I should be in the center. I'm wearing black. It is still overcast. How's the detail? Can you make out? Obviously, I have very white skin, but can you make out all the detail around me? Does it look dark? Is the sky killing stuff? Is the ground killing the image? How does it look? Both drones seem pretty stable. It's quite windy out right now, but they seem extremely stable in the air. They're sitting exactly where they should sit. So no complaints there. It's kind of hard to tell. This is where, I'll just turn around, different designs on my back. This is where a 1-inch sensor is supposed to show improvement over a 1/2.3 sensor. The EVO has a 1/2.3 sensor and the Mavic 2 has a 1-inch sensor. So the 1-inch sensor should allow for more detail in low light situations like right now. So it's kind of hard to tell here. I guess the next thing to do is I'm just going to fly them and then cut video in between each one. So it looks like one drone flew the whole way and I'll just cut back and forth between the Mavic 2 and the EVO and you tell me how it looks. All right, watch my face. I should get brightened up by the sun because I see it coming. It's coming out from behind a cloud. Come on, sun, I can see you. You're almost there. Come on, light me up. Here it comes. Okay, I should be getting lighter now. And there we go, the sun's out. There we go. I don't know if the exposure changed on the GoPro to make me look better or worse. So I'm in a different location. Each time the sun comes out, I'll fly the drones. Now, the reason I'm in this location is because, see my nice little white arms? And look what's behind me. It's like a silvery white object, well, more silver than white, but in the actual video, it might look white. And it does have some detail to it. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. See this? See, it's got little lines and stuff on it. So I don't know if the drone cameras can pick out that detail or they're just gonna blow the color right out. The white balance and the exposure is going to go right off and we're going to get a white stand back here with no detail at all. So that's what we're going to be looking for, as well as my arms, see if there's any detail on that. All right, so let's try this now. All right, so there we go. That is the AUTEL EVO and that is the Mavic 2 Pro. So what do you see here? Can you make out any definition? Here, let me hold this up. Can you see that there's a little skull on the black? Does the white behind it mess it up? You know, in the shadows and stuff like that. I'll just move it around here. What can you see? Can you see my arms? Nice and white. My face, my jeans. Does that thing stand out nicely? That's what we're looking for, to see how much dynamic range there is in between images, the sky. Can you see the clouds? Can you see all this other good stuff that's around here? All right, so the sun is right there pointing directly down on this side of me. Now the AUTEL EVO I think has a little bit wider view. I have the Mavic 2 set, just like the last video, on the wide view. I don't have it on the high quality, more narrow cropped view. That's just so that we can do an honest comparison with the EVO. Both are on auto settings. All right, so now let's just fly them, and I'll just intersperse the different segments of video in between the two, and we'll see how they do. Here we go. And that was the second camera comparison test in bright sunlight and a little bit of cloud in the sky. So the objective there was, could you make out any clouds in the sky? Did the ground still look detailed? How did they look? They were pretty much both in the same amount of sunlight, so that should have been a pretty good comparison. Now in my test, what you probably notice is that the Mavic 2 is actually flying faster than the EVO. That's because I left the EVO in all the auto settings, so it's on normal speed. That's what you would normally fly in, unless I want to crank it up to a higher speed or ludicrous speed. And the Mavic 2 just has basically sport mode and normal speed. So I was flying in the Mavic 2 in normal speed. It's really fast, so that's why every time I jump to the Mavic 2, it seems like I'm flying faster. That's because the Mavic 2, even in normal speed, flies extremely fast. Now, just in case you've never seen both drones side by side, here they are, Mavic 2 on the left and the AUTEL EVO on the right. You can see for the most part that they're pretty much the same size. The legs on the AUTEL EVO do look like they stand a little taller than the legs on the Mavic 2 Pro. All right, so that's the sunny comparison test of the cameras. And I guess the next one to do is maybe when the sun starts to go down and it's like evening. See how well they work in low light. Okay, so now it is the golden hour. That is when the sun is low in the horizon as it is back there, kind of blinding when you look at it. And it gives that gold cast to all the objects, the trees, anything that's metal, anything that's white. You get a sort of yellowing effect. All right, so now I'm gonna do a little bit of an evening thing because you could see, look behind me over there, the sun is going down. So since the sun is going down, I'm going to film myself right here with both drones and see how they pick out the colors on me. The sun is going down and I have both drones up in the air and some guy is flying a parachute over there. All right, so this is what it looks like in the evening as the sun is setting. So this is the AUTEL EVO and this is the Mavic 2 Pro. How do the colors look? This is evening. Here's some white skin beaming off the sun flying at me. Does it look natural? How about behind me? How about the grass? How about this here? You know, I've got this little yellow thing down here. Well, greenish yellow thing down. Does it look greenish yellow? Maybe it does more on the Mavic because it's got a little bit of yellow tint. But how does it handle the sun? The sun is just blaring right there. So how are they working? Well, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these two drones around 180 so they actually face towards the sun, and we'll see how they do. All right, so there you have it. Both cameras, I have the center of their shot pointing exactly at the setting sun, and both are on auto, and this is the image you get. So with both cameras looking at the setting sun, does one or the other provide more detail in the surrounding area? Can you see anything in the sky that's different between the two? Can you see anything that's on land? Can you see more houses or more details in the ground on one of them more than the other? That's the dynamic range. I would think that the Mavic 2 with the larger sensor, might be able to gather a bit more light and might be able to include a bit more detail, but it all depends. You know, we're just staring at a sun that's setting right now, so I really can't tell. All right, so I'm gonna bring them down a bit, and I'm gonna look at the guy with the parachute. All right, so now I have both drones facing the actual parachute, and there's actually 3 people standing beside the parachute. I'm looking on my screen, and on the AUTEL EVO, I can't see the 3 people or barely make out the parachute, but on the Mavic 2, I can see the 3 people and make out the parachute quite well. Now the sun is pretty much on the horizon. It's behind a bunch of trees, so it is getting much darker. And the interesting thing right now is, well, how's the image look? Now, just for fun, I'm gonna go walk over into the image. All right, so I'm walking in front. I should be in the image, I would think I am. So I'm way out here. I don't have the controllers with me. I left them over there. So if these drones take off, oh well, guess they're gone. So both drones are up there. I'm standing back here. Do you see any definition on me? Like I've got a blue top, blue jeans, black runners. Can you see this? It's bright behind me. So am I lit up in any way? Because the light's all behind me. So do these sensors actually pick up anything? All right, so that's pretty much it. One thing I'm really impressed with is how quiet these drones are. It's a very quiet night. I'm flying these drones, and even this is gonna sound silly, I forgot I had one of the drones in the air, and I was packing up to leave, and there's still a drone in the air. Yep, that's how quiet they are. Anyways, that's just me absent-minded. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it of some use, gave you some ideas about how the auto settings on both cameras react to the certain lighting conditions. And if one is better than the other, I have no idea. I hope that video was of some use to you to show you the different lighting conditions and how these drones with their cameras react to those lighting conditions. Both of them weren't too bad. I'm sure if I did color correction on either of the drones, it would look pretty amazing. But for what we saw in this video, still look pretty good. Post a comment below. Tell me, out of the 2 drones you saw, which camera image did you like better? Which was closer to what you prefer? Because everybody has different eyeballs and everybody's got different color preferences, so everybody has a different idea of what looks good to them. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. We'll catch you in the next one.